It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160. And we're on the line today with Ted Clouser, who is CEO of PCA Technology Solutions and Cybersecurity Analyst. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Many folks know by now that it was back in 2012, I believe it was, when we were the victim of a ransomware attack, and somebody in Russia has all of our files from that time. Ted, since that time, we've put in certain measures that protect us a little bit more, but from what we're understanding, there's been a wave of ransomware attacks, and they're hitting some of our really, really vital industries. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, and you're exactly right. You know, the bad guys have really just doubled down. They recognize that there's significant money to be made here, and this is a business for them. They've got true business plans. They know what they're doing. They could be government-backed, certainly in Russia and China. That I can't really speak to for sure, but, I do know that these 5 hospitals that were hit recently with the Rook ransomware is backed by a Russian group known as Wizard Spider. So there's definitely some state attacks here that are going on.
Tell us about the damage done at those 5 hospitals.
Well, it's significant. I would say that overall, we've seen hospitals paying tens of millions of dollars in the recent years. I know ransomware, the attempts have specifically jumped up 50% in Q3 over Q1 and Q2, with just hospitals and healthcare being the hardest hit. And you're seeing some demands right now, over $5 million. I know the University of California in San Francisco paid $1.14 million in ransom in just June of this year.
It is really sensitive information they're gathering, too, isn't it? That could just trickle right down to the individuals in their homes.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge threat.
Wow. All right. And I'm assuming that because we know of these 5, that there are probably many more that are affected in the same way.
Oh, absolutely. Many organizations are compromised and don't even know it. And one of the things that makes these attacks so successful is they get inside the environment, whether that's they've duped a user to get inside or by other means. And then they're very stealth and watching everything that's going on so they can target their attack. They know how to attack, when to attack, and what it is that they need to take out. So even backups that are connected online are susceptible if they're reachable, so they can be encrypted too.
Yeah, and we're talking hospitals here, but now there are local governments. There are a lot of schools that have been affected by this. Ransomware is everywhere.
Oh my goodness, yeah, absolutely, and that's why I say it's a true business. It's it used to be, I've been in this industry for 25 years, and I remember back in the late 90s, it was graffiti type attacks, and it was a nuisance, but now it is a big dollar business.
Okay, so Ted, why is it so difficult for us to keep ahead of this?
Truth be told, we as users are the problem, right? So we can put perimeter protection in place. We can put endpoint protection in place. It's much like securing your home. If we take all the precautions, but we as the user let them in the front door, we are the problem. And so raising awareness like you're doing here in your show, but all the IT experts across the globe need to make sure that they are continually educating their users, recognizing that these threats are real, and making sure that they are empowered to say, if something's happened, if they've inadvertently clicked on something they shouldn't, they need to have a safe spot where they can come tell it. Disconnect immediately, go tell someone.
Yeah. Of course, we think about password protections and default passwords, things of that nature. And those things can't just be static from day one. They have to change, too, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. I think if you do passphrases, which are, it can be as simple as something like, I like talking on radio stations. That could be my password, and it tends to be more secure than a shorter, cryptic password where you're hopping around on your keyboard trying to do odd things. So length is better than short complexity.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one of the really cool things that you can tell us about. What are some other steps that I'm sure that you're in touch with the experts all the time and the IT folks at all of these different entities that are being attacked. What are some of the other simple, basic steps people can take?
Well, password managers are critical. I think that something like a LastPass for someone to manage their passwords. I don't know any of my passwords, so I don't have to worry about being duped. I'm using a password manager to create them for me, and then I'm using it to tell me what they are when it comes time to enter them. So again, think about a passphrase. Think about something that is if you're not going to use a password manager, think about something that is easy to remember, but very, very long. That's important.
Mm-hmm. We know, of course, that the FBI is well aware of what's going on, and NSA and various other agencies that are working on the problem. But as you say, it really comes down to local, doesn't it?
It does, sure. And we've got inside attacks. You've got Russia and these other countries that are sending people over here to live within our organizations. And all these things that we thought weren't really legitimate that we watched on TV years ago, they're real. These things happen.
Really? There are companies from other countries that they're basically embedding their agents within American companies. Oh,
absolutely. They'll send people over, and they will be completely, their whole goal is to really become an insider. That really happens. Russia and China are doing that as we speak. Wow, I had never even considered something of that nature. Well, that being the case, I would assume that these folks aren't just in Russia and China or other parts of the world. They're happening domestically as well. There are companies doing the exact same thing here. Absolutely. Oh. Ted, you're not helping me here today. You're not making me feel better about myself. Just be careful out there. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to be more careful than we have been, but staying on top of things is extremely important, and sometimes we get lazy. Mm-hmm, absolutely. And certainly as COVID has hit, we've become more distracted by going into our homes and environments that we're not used to. We might have kids in the house. It actually is more important than ever to think before you click. Yeah. One of the important things I think to remember about this is that because there are individuals working within each of these companies, and that they are keeping records that are matters of great privacy, and healthcare certainly is one of those. Even if it's not happening to our company, it could be happening to us, and we don't even know it. Oh, absolutely. Oh, okay, Ted. I'm asking you to help me. Think about over the weekend. I'm asking you to make me feel better, Ted, and you're not. But you can't. I know that I'm just kidding with you, but it is really a very, very serious topic. Yeah, absolutely. But again, I appreciate you raising awareness. That's the most important piece, is making sure everybody knows that these threats exist. Okay, so there have to be resources out there that can help companies and individuals protect themselves. What are some of them? I think that from the security space, looking at CompTIA.org for increased education and certifications within our industry is important. I try to keep up with the latest and most vital threats on my LinkedIn page, and then PCATechSolutions.com. We keep a running tab of new security threats in our news section. He's Ted Clouser. You're a Pennsylvania boy, so we like you anyway, Ted. I appreciate that. Hey, have a great day today. We appreciate your time. My pleasure. Thanks. Bye-bye.